my God, Skyline.
Skyline.
What's up, everyone? Today I'm here with Josh. You might remember Josh because I reviewed this Skyline in September.
September 3rd was on my birthday, actually.
Oh yeah, it was a good birthday present.
Yes.
And along with that, Gears of Gasoline did the documentary the same day.
Yeah,
so
kind of
same car in that video as well.
Double dipped.
But I have to say, out of all the Skylines imported into the United States, this one, like driving-wise, is my favorite. Because you got the RB26,
yep.
You got the R34 turbos,
yep.
All-wheel drive, obviously, and it's quiet and comfortable. Would you like to tell them about how you got the car and what's it like living with it? I'm sure a lot of people are interested in what's it like living with a Skyline in the United States.
So it's a lifestyle change for sure, because you stop at gas stations, you go anywhere, and people want to take pictures, and people want to come and shake your hand. That's the weirdest thing. It's like, oh my gosh, I have to shake your hand. Like, you're a respectable human being because you own this car. But how I got the car is I grew up in Cincinnati, Ohio. I've always been into Hondas and stuff like that, and I ran around with this whole crew of people. Fast forward 15 years now, and I live in Alabama. And one of my good buddies has grown up to own a company called R Empire that imports cars. And he was like, hey, I got this car for sale. It's coming over. Do you want dibs on it? I know you're a car guy. And we just knew each other across Facebook. We had mutual friends. And I'm like, I got to get it. So I called the bank, got good on the money, bought a plane ticket that afternoon, took off work. I told my boss, I'm like, I'm gone. Flew up there that day. He picked me up in the airport in the Skyline.
Oh, no
yes.
way. He got you.
Yeah.
He
took me out for a drink.
So bad.
Took me out for a drink and then dropped me off at my hotel. And I drove it back the next day to make cars and coffee in Wetumpka, Alabama, because I wanted to like show off the car. I didn't tell anybody. Nobody knew.
That's the best though, when you don't tell anyone.
You're
like, check it out.
So while we're out having a drink and having a burger, we're talking about who we grew up with, and you know, because I don't go back home that often. I hadn't been home in a couple of years, but I haven't seen any car friends in like a decade. We're talking about like the people we went and hung out with, who tuned our cars. Like the guy who tuned this car, Dave Blundell, tuned my very first Honda.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So like your first like build pretty much ever,
my
same guy.
B16 swapped EG hatch, he tuned it. And so it's come to find out we rolled around with the same group of people growing up. And now we've just gone separate ways in our lives, and we've reconnected over cars.
Yeah, isn't that awesome?
Yes.
But I think a big interesting point of your story of the Skyline is how you weren't going to buy a Skyline at all.
No, I was going to buy another all-wheel drive turbocharged car. I put a deposit down and had it on order, a Ford Focus RS.
Yep, which is arguably, I'm sorry to interrupt you by the way, which is arguably very similar to this car.
Yes.
In a lot of ways.
The only thing that's really different is the money when you're talking about, you know, new features and stuff, but money. So I had one on order, put my name down on it. I was clued into the build process, watching it go through the plant, getting on a ship, tracking the tracking order on the ship. It hit the port in Jacksonville the day I flew up to buy this. So like the car had hit American soil, and I was weeks away from picking it up. And I went and bought this, and I called the dealership. I was like, hey, you just let it go to the next guy, because they had a line of people that were waiting to get on the car.
List, right?
And the only reason I even got that deal or put the money down for it is because I got it at MSRP, and I had to go. So I live in Montgomery, and I had to go all the way to Charleston, Carolina. South Carolina, yeah. Charleston, South Carolina, to get one at MSRP, because everywhere else wanted like $5 grand, 10 grand, and
it's gone to 15 now.
I know.
Like, the Focus RS is by far, in the last 6 months, one of my favorite cars I've driven. But I don't think it's worth $42,000.
No,
it's just not. It's a $30,000 car.
It's wait 3 or 5 years and find one some old guy bought. And have fun.
I was one of the first people ever in the States to drive one.
Yeah.
And I did the drift mode in it and everything. And I did it in a video called like I went crazy in the Focus RS.
Yeah.
Because Ford personally gave me one to drive around Utah, but then I had to give it back, obviously. And then they said, oh no, we didn't realize this, but we released the video to, you know, you can't release the video yet because customers are still waiting on theirs, and you know, we got to put out the video after after people get the cars.
Yeah.
But so by the time I was allowed to put that video out, it was kind of, you know, everybody had already done their Focus RS reviews and stuff, and I was like, man. A lot of people always ask me, like, what car would I buy if I didn't do my 240 projects?
Yeah.
It'd be an RS, but at MSRP.
If I didn't have this, I didn't have this, like if I'd have flown up there and the car was a piece of junk, or I got in it and was like, I can't do this sort of thing, like I just couldn't do the right-hand drive, I would have definitely stuck with the RS and, you know, be pops and burbles around town somewhere.
But at the same time, though, you went to a gas station on the way here, and just like a whole group of people was like, stay and talk with us, because of the Skyline.
I stopped to get gas and used the restroom somewhere in Georgia. There's an extraordinarily large amount of foot traffic at this Shell gas station. Hang on, boost.
It's so good.
Like you talked about last time, the more you beat on it, it just smiles and it's happy, and you just want to do it. And the blow-off valve sounds so good at full boost. Yeah. So I pull into this gas station and just people swarm me. I get like 10, 12, 15 people walk up to the car. So naturally I pop the hood and I'm trying to shake hands, and I let a couple of guys sit in the car, because it's one of my favorite things to do, is like the look on people's faces when I tell them to sit in it, you know?
Yeah.
I even had like an older couple come up who probably didn't even know what it was, but they were like, this is a really nice car, this is really cool. So it's that lifestyle change, and as an introverted person, it's actually helped me become a little bit more social and a little bit more open.
Absolutely. This car, especially, you repainted the front.
Yeah, the front end.
And that just brought it to life. Like, it's crazy how that much brought it to life.
Mm-hmm. The grill between the headlights was flat black and the front lip was flat black, but now it's the same sort of root beer dark brown color.
Yeah, it's a root beer color. It looks black everywhere you go.
Yep.
But you put a light up to it and it's root beer. I know the Evo had a very similar color. The Evo 10 did.
My coworker bought his son an Evo 10 that's that color.
Yeah.
When we parked next to each other.
Put a light right up to it to see it. Not good yet until I do this.
Yeah.
Dang, dude.
The cold weather helps.
It does. Well, it's funny. I remember when we did the review of this car, we were driving on this 2-lane road. And first, I pulled out and I chirped second. You're like, holy crap, you could do that in this car?
Yep.
It's all-wheel drive. And then after that, a Jaguar. I'm sorry, I'm American. I say Jaguar sometimes.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's Jaguar F-Type gets on our tail. And I think it was like the supercharged V6 version.
Yeah.
But he got right at our butt. And you're looking at me like, well? I was like, no. And he never caught us.
When in Rome.
It was unreal.
Yeah, he gave us the nod and the thumbs up sort of thing, and it's just like, why couldn't this be a 2-lane road?
Oh, I know. That would have been awesome. The RB is such a great engine because it's so smooth.
Mm-hmm.
And the 2J is much more violent.
Yeah.
Like, it's so violent. And the RB is just like, oh, you know, you just kind of ease into it. But parts are just so hard to find. Like, so you had a misfire issue that you still get occasionally. Can you elaborate on that for people?
So there's obviously 10 plus years or 27 years worth of history you can go look up on the internet to find, you know, diagnosing problems. And there's like misfire under boost, misfire under 3K RPM,
right.
High RPM misfire, low RPM misfire. So I was getting it everywhere, and it was intermittent. So when I went and did research, everybody's like coil packs, plugs, and ignition harness.
So it works.
Yeah, so I did all of that. And come to find out, this car has an igniter, meaning the coil packs don't have an igniter built in. They're called dumb coils. You can get smart coils. Like, I could put CBR 600RR coils on it. I could put LS1 coils on it. So the igniter is just a chip that tells which coil to fire at which time.
Right.
The plug coming into the back of that is hard as a rock and brittle, and I need to take it out and put new wires in and re-terminate all the leads inside of it.
Would you say that overall, though, have you dumped a lot of money into this car?
No, the majority of the money that I put into it has been the stereo, because I want a Bluetooth and a nice radio.
Yeah.
Fluids.
Yeah, you gotta do fluids.
Which is general fluids, but you have a front diff and a rear diff, and the back diff is a mechanical type, so you have to put a friction modifier type fluid in it. The center diff can take ATF, the transmission takes MTF, and then the engine to oil takes a different oil. So you have 5 different fluids that you have to use. That's the only problem.
Oh, man.
So that was a little bit pricey there, but No, I mean, not. Fuel filter for $12, spark plugs for $15, and coil packs for a couple of $100, and that's it. And I've had it since July of last year, and I drive it every day.
I think the great part is you got a very lucky particular swap. There's a 911 that went by the way.
Yeah.
Because yours is a RB26.
So they come with RB26s. I've got the R33 engine, which has the thicker collar on the oil pump, as well as the N1 water pump.
Yeah, so you have all the little tiny increments that Nissan made better with the RB in this car. It's so funny because even my neighbor came out the other day and was like, now how did you get this? Like, was blown away because as soon as you see the 4 circle taillights, that's not an ugly Chevy Impala.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh wow, that's a Skyline. And
yes, it is.
When I was in LA, I was at the Hoonigan office or the warehouse, and there was an Australian guy there, and there was an R33 there, and he's like, I just don't understand why everyone is freaking out about this R33 because they're dime a dozen everywhere else in the world.
Yeah.
Ireland has a big scene with them. Australia, New Zealand, all those places.
Well, Australia has like the quickest and the fastest like in the world R32s.
Skylines, in general.
They're all about it.
Yeah. So Josh a lot of the times comes to Caffeine and Octane in Atlanta and comes out, and every time we cruise together, it's just cool because I'm usually in, say, my Mustang or 240 or whatever, and I look in my rearview mirror and there's a Skyline there, something that I, as a little kid, never dreamed of. And it's just cool seeing it in the flesh and all that because in the United States, literally, when people say we didn't see them, you did not see them. So it's really, really cherished. Right-hand drive is always a treat. And it's always a treat because you get to drive it every day.
It happened, so like the seeing it for sale at 8 a.m., buying a plane ticket and being on a flight up at 5 p.m. It all happened for me so fast. It was like I couldn't process it quick enough to appreciate it.
Right.
It's now fast forward 8-9 months now. Now I can appreciate every bit of the car and the process and all that fun stuff.
So all in all, I'm going to take a wild guess that you're happy with your purchase.
I'm extremely happy with my purchase on a daily basis.
And with that, thanks for watching this video, guys. Hope you all enjoyed Josh's story. I just thought it was really cool how he jumped from the Focus RS, but also went back in time and decided to get a car that he's always wanted. It's your dream car, right?
Yep, #1 dream car to own.
Anyways, guys, thanks so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you have never seen me ever. In case, it's been good. I'll see you guys next time and take it easy. Have a great day.